Yeah. Okay, you ready? All right, you ready? We'll start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everybody. Roll call, please, Jill.
Commissioner Bozek,
I'm here.
Commissioner Enslin,
Here.
Commissioner McGraw,
Here.
Commissioner McGuire,
Here.
Commissioner Tevlin,
Here.
Commissioner Pigeon. Here.
Sorry, I'm trying to get my life together. I got too many papers in front of me. All right. Approval of minutes from April 9th of 2025.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? Roll call please, Jill.
Commissioner Tevlin,
Yes.
Commissioner Enslin,
Yes.
Commissioner McGuire,
Yes.
Commissioner McGraw,
Yes.
Commissioner Bozek.
Yes. All right, any reports from the commissioners?
Nope.
I know, I think we just need a new clock in general, because I feel like it's just the clock and it dies, so, yes. Digital, digital, I think. Yeah,
thank you.
No. Clay, do you have anything?
No.
Not today. Alright,
President, I have one question if you don't mind. I don't see it in the SS4A.
Yes.
I don't see it on the agenda, so I'll keep it on my report if that's okay with you.
Yes, that would be great. Sorry.
So I believe we sent the final plan to the committee and the committee forwarded that to all the members for final approval. This is the final action plan that will be adopted by the council as well. And there will be a resolution that adopt that final action plan. In order for the town to apply for an implementation plan, you have to actually adopt that final action. And the implementation grant that it's open right now, the deadline is June 26th, if I'm not mistaken. So we need an action by the board to approve the final action plan. If you are moving forward to apply for an additional grant for SS4A.
Okay.
So we just need an approval, I guess, for whatever the committee sends you.
What is SS4A?
Street
I'm sorry,
safe.
safe streets for all.
I think it's under old business.
It is, it
It's
is.
under old business.
Is it?
It's at the bottom. It's just typed out a little bit different this time,
Okay.
but it's there at the bottom. Yeah, can we,
I haven't seen a final report.
It's in your packet. Yeah.
was it emailed as well?
With an email, yes.
Okay, I'll just make it the same email, it's the same packet.
Nothing changed.
That's what I was gonna say, can you
From
give us a
that,
little summary
right.
on what it is and we're.
So the final action plan, it's really the same one that it was a draft for almost, I wanna say 3 months that you reviewed as well and approved. And it's been published. We did not receive any comments to address. So it's the same exact one that you approved in the previous previous meetings. Unless that you have comments, then we can address them, and we can change them. But as it said right now, it's final as it is.
What do you guys wanna do?
I would like to make a motion that we accept the report, the discretionary for the grant program, and also proceed with looking into getting a grant to do the next project, the next
The implementation.
thank you.
Yeah, no problem. The implementation, once the council actually approves it, but that's okay, you can make that motion conditional.
That would be
on the
part of
council.
it, right?
I second that.
Tina, did you have something to say?
Just wanted clarification on which consultant you want working on the Safe Streets for All implementation grant. Will that be-
We recommend the first consultant to do it. We definitely, it seems like it was successful. And, yeah,
You wanna
Amendment
amend your motion?
that we give Herman Brewery to proceed with the grant. Or
Second, Ann.
Any more discussion? Okay, roll call please, Jill.
Commissioner Tevlin,
Yes.
Commissioner Enslin,
Yes.
Commissioner McHarg. Yes. Commissioner McGraw,
yes,
Commissioner Bozak.
Yes.
we will make sure to let Tina know once the council approve and the resolution is passed and it's published and it's final from the federal highway as well. So the project needs to be closed with the federal highway before we.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tina?
Good evening, Commissioners. Just a brief report on Marquette Greenway Phase 1B. That's the portion of the project from the National Park lookout at the river and over to the town of Porter. I spoke with SEH that's overseeing the environmental. The draft environmental document is with the National Park Service for local review. So local staff will be reviewing it, and then it will also be forwarded to the regional office for regional and tribal review. The goal is that we would have the draft approved in July on the environmental. I spoke with Ava Marsh, Matt Kaiser, who's here today, also to get an update on the design engineering. They are approaching 90%, I think, towards the end of the week. We will be at that milestone. Ava Marsh has been in communication with Norfolk Southern. If you recall, last month I reported that the 30% design was reviewed, commented by Norfolk Southern. Ava Marsh replied, had some questions. Those questions have not yet been answered. Some of the questions have not been answered, so they're waiting on that. Matt has sent a follow-up recently to check the status on that. Norfolk Southern also has 60% designs in front of them. So they are kind of up to speed on those 30 and 60% milestones. Once we have the responses to the questions, then we'll be able to give them the 90%, which would be moving towards their approval of the plans. So as of today, we don't know yet if we have full approval for the underpass. So both the underpass and overpass are still being reviewed by Norfolk Southern and included in the NEPA, the environmental review document as well. So it's moving along well, things are coordinated, and so that's my update on phase 1B.
Do we have like an estimated start of construction? I know we're still looking at everything else, but do we have like a goal, a target on when they want to start that?
We do. If we're able to hear from Norfolk Southern here in the next couple of weeks, we hope to move towards preparing bid documents in June with a start date, I think we were talking about in fall of this year. If we get delayed with Norfolk Southern, then we could potentially be out another month before that start date. But the goal right now is to try and be on track for, here in the next month or so to get started bidding.
And just generally speaking, we do have some economic development interest. There are different businesses that are interested in looking at different properties here in town. So just wanting to make you aware there are businesses, interested in looking at opportunities here in Burns Harbor.
Thank you very much.
Just one thing I wanted to ask, on the Cone Street issues, we had Global go out there, and I know this is going to come before the town council, and I just wanted to know what the commissioners have felt of the report from Shem, where it's going and what we're planning on doing at this point, if we heard back from Evan Marsh on that issue from Shem.
It's on it's down further on the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
I jumped right, okay, I'll wait.
Nope.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. All right. Jocelyn, you have anything from the school board for us?
Sure, just a couple.
All right, busy time of year.
Yes, right. Just a few highlights. We had the Liberty Middle School Academic Super Bowl team students. They competed in the Junior Academic Super Bowl area competition hosted by the Fort Middle School, and the students competed in math, science, social studies, and English, and our math and English teams took first place. Our combined 8th grade ensembles from Liberty and Westchester Middle Schools had a day at a Music in the Parks event in Gurnee, competing against ensembles from across the Great Lakes, from Wisconsin to Ohio, and each group earned superior ratings, first place in their respective categories, and grand champion overall. We have a CHS senior, Carmen Thomas, who is a 4th year member of the speech and debate team. She was named Academic All-American by the National Speech and Debate Association last year and is a 3-time national qualifier. After competing in 6 elimination rounds against 40 other entries, Carmen was named the state champion in original oratory, and she will go on to perform at nationals in June.
Awesome.
Yes.
Very good.
Last week, at our school board meeting, she came and gave her oratory speech. It was excellent. She was great. And then we had a couple Teacher of the Year. CHS Teacher of the Year was George Fox. Russ Hardsock received Elementary Teacher of the Year, and Shauna Jesse received Employee.
Congratulations.
I could go on for a long time, but I just thought forward.
Thank you for those tidbits.
Happy to share.
All right. Jill, do we have any correspondence? Nope. All right. Moving right along. Marquette Greenway. So, the RDC received a magnificent award from the Greenways Foundation for the Redevelopment Commission for Outstanding Government. So Tina and I went down to Indianapolis in April to accept this award. It's here. We're gonna hang it up somewhere in this room, in the hallway somewhere. It's here. So thank everybody in this room for all of your hard work and efforts that put in. It's definitely a group effort to receive this, so I appreciate you all. Thank you very much. All right, phase 1A construction, project invoices, all kinds of fun stuff. I'm gonna turn it over to Tina because she's way better at explaining things than I am.
Good evening once again. So the project invoice is actually on phase 1A project. We're in the process of closing that out with NDOT. You remember we have a CMAQ grant that project was partially funded with. And so last week, the clerk treasurer's office received an invoice from NDOT in the amount of $4,054.11. This is 20% of local share that we're responsible for the project balance of $20,270.56. So they pay 80%, we pay 20%. So the project invoice before you is in the amount of $4,054.11, and all the backup that goes with that is behind it. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Does anybody have any questions about the invoice, what it's for, understanding the 80-20 match? This is all stuff that was already, discussed prior, and now the bill's here to sign it.
Well, I move that we pay the invoice.
Second. Any more discussion?
This is the first chance I'm getting to see this, I mean, I've just gotten on the RDC the last couple of months. It's kind of hard for me to understand all of this, and I'm not gonna put everybody through that, so I'll discuss this with Tina, trying to understand it.
Okay. We get a motion.
Yeah, we have a motion and a second.
Okay, sorry. Roll call please.
Commissioner Ensland,
Yes.
Commissioner Tevlin,
Yes.
Commissioner McGraw,
Yes,
Commissioner McHarg,
Yes.
Commissioner Bozak.
Yes.
President Boza, would it make sense right now just to acknowledge that we are shifting to a new ERC and that I would be working with the ERC
Yes.
to move forward with any NDOT reporting that we have left?
Yes. And Jill is our ERC now. Yay, thank you very
Thank
much for
you.
stepping up to that position. So Jill and Tina will be working together to get all of that taken care of. All right. What do we have next? Do we have any other invoices? I feel like there's so much paperwork in front of me.
so much paperwork.
It's giving me anxiety right now. Sorry. What is that? What is that? Go ahead, Tina. What do we have?
Well, that concludes the invoices and the
Yes.
update of the NDOT process. And so the next agenda item, President Wilson.
Okay, so next we're at the RFP for trail modification. So you want to talk briefly on that?
Yes, so with respect to phase 1A, as part of the residents' concern with pooled water along Home Street, the town council had directed the town engineer to review the project. We've also been coordinating with SEH, which is the engineer on record for that portion of the project, and with the construction oversight firm of Avon Marsh. And so we've been working together to identify what are the key factors that contributed to the pooled water, and we are working through some of the technical aspects, data, and kind of engineering best practices to come up with a solution to that problem. So we have some options on the table, and this RFP for trail modification, I think, is something that we, the recommendation is one to proceed with a contract with SEH for additional engineering to study this issue. We also have Avon Marsh providing a kind of two-step process to move towards a solution. This information is before us now, which is not at the time of publication of the agenda. So with that recommendation, I would suggest or recommend that the three firms and come together and talk about next steps. So I would suggest that this be, what is the right term? Pardon? Tabled.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? I think we're still just to sum it up in my words. We're still looking at it, we're still trying to figure out everything that's going on and what the best solution is there. All three of the engineering firms are working together to come to that solution. So we are still working on it, and it's just too soon to really make a move on what it is that we want to do. Anybody else have any other questions or comments on all that?
Just one question, is this incurring any cost to the town right now? All this process is going on?
The authorization, the town engineer
Right, I
being
know we
involved, yes.
hiring.
Yes. The town
Okay.
engineer,
But I mean, as far as the repairs and then we don't know where that's at yet.
Yes.
correct.
The work that SEH has been doing is a balance of a contract that they already had as the engineer on record. And then we have Avon Marsh that is still doing work under the existing contract, and then they're providing some other solutions as well.
Thank you.
Alright. Next item on the agenda, the resident landscaping request. This goes back to what we had talked about previously with the residents, the Dulans who live on Cohen, and their request for some sort of landscaping to give them a little bit more privacy, because that trail, curves back, their yard kind of goes back pretty far. So what has been recommended that we do would be to approve, to give the Dulans a monetary amount so that they can take care of landscaping on their side. The problem on our side with the trail is that the ditch from the trail, correct me if I say the wrong thing, the ditch from the trail where it's at behind their property, you can't plant anything there because it's a ditch. So you're going to plant something there and we're going to create more, other problems. So the best solution would be to approve an amount to give the Dulans so that way they can take care of some of the landscaping on their side, and the town would not be, taking care of and putting anything in. And my recommendation on that, based on when we looked before on what the landscaping would be to do it on our side, I would recommend giving them a not to exceed 5,000 for the landscaping there.
And I would just ask, are you wanting to give them that money or have them spend money and show proof that they've spent the money?
What is the best practice for that? Like, what
Well,
would your
I mean, you
legal
could just
opinion be on
Give
that?
them $5,000 and they could pocket it and do nothing.
But they couldn't come back and ask,
That's true.
they couldn't come back and ask us for anything. I mean, I get what you're saying, they just try and, I would hope that they would take the 5,000 and put something there. What do you all think about that?
The only concern I have is that if we get still the issue with the flooding and that until that's completed or figured out.
This
I
is-
know that's nowhere near this area.
They're not affected by the
No,
flooding.
it's
No?
not, it's
Oh,
not
okay.
anywhere,
All right,
yeah,
thank you.
yeah, no, you're great.
I'm a little squeamish about just handing out gobs of money and requiring no, proof that anything was ever done. Because after all, it is taxpayers' money. I don't mind, reimbursing them for something not to exceed whatever amount. And I have no idea what a professional landscaper and plants runs.
What we did look at, the costs for those things, and that's, where the $5,000 in my head came from, for that. But I'm on the same page with you, we'll let them do it and then we can reimburse them not to exceed a certain whatever you guys think is the right.
And President Bozak, I just clarify or add to it is that this is not like a new money approval, because we were intending to add shrubs on the town side, and that was something that this body approved like a year ago. But you know, there's certain times of the year to do plantings, and then with the ditch being present, there's just not sufficient room to have the shrubs in there and have a functioning ditch. So this is why the recommendation is at the $5,000 level for them doing the shrubs on their side of the property.
Well, let's go with Clay's suggestion. And we will reimburse them if they can show receipts up to $5,000.
And the reason I ask that is because Tina and I have already spoken about, we would need to document the fact that what this money is spent on, so whether it would be essentially what I would call a mutual release and settlement agreement, where, you know, we're giving you this, you're giving up that type of thing, but I just didn't know, are we just writing a check, or do we wanna see some evidence that they have spent money?
Yeah, like the reimbursement. Yeah, like the reimbursement. Can we put a timeline on that, that it you know, they have to, like they have, I don't get in the dirt, so I don't know when it's time to plant things, so like, you know, it's like within a year, that, you know, they need to, you know, I don't want them coming back to us in 2035 and be like, by the way, we need some bushes.
Everything's negotiable, and I think once two of us get some guidance from the commission, the team was gonna reach out to them and have those one-on-one discussions.
Yeah.
And then she'll tell me, and I'll draft the document, and we'll work.
Put a reasonable date on it, you know.
Ms. Doolin had reached out recently, and I told her that, you know, I would be speaking with you and would get back with her. So this direction tonight would enable me to have a follow-up conversation and then, you know, work towards, you know, resolution of this.
Okay.
So is that your motion?
Yeah.
I'll second what he said.
Okay, any discussion? So we're gonna not to exceed 5,000, and it's gonna be a reimbursement to the Doolins
With proof of.
with proof of, and what you,
And
what did you say
performed
the
by
time?
date.
Okay. Okay, just to clarify that. Okay, any more discussion? All right, roll call please, Jill.
Commissioner Ensland,
Yes.
Commissioner McGraw,
Yes.
Commissioner McHarg,
Yes.
Commissioner Devlin,
Yes.
Commissioner Bozak.
Yes. All right, moving along. All right, we have Westport side, the appraisal invoices. You guys should have some invoices in this lovely stack of paperwork here. And these are, the invoices to request appraisal of the Westport property. Yes. Does anybody have any questions about these? I believe we talked about that. We should have received them in email. Sorry, I wasn't at last night's meeting, my mind's all over the place. But I wasn't sure if anybody had any questions about those, but I believe that we do need to approve those invoices.
I move that we would pay both invoices.
Okay, any discussion? All right, and that's for professional appraisal services and valuation services, Jill, just for the record. If you could roll call, please.
Commissioner Ensland,
Yes.
Commissioner Devlin,
Yes.
Commissioner McGraw,
Yes.
Commissioner McHarg,
Yes.
Commissioner Bozak.
Yes. All right. Request for written offers on real estate. Tina, can you pick this one up for me?
Maybe I'll punt this one to Attorney Patton.
Yes.
So based on those appraisals that we just approved to pay for under Indiana Code Redevelopment Commission can sell property, but have to essentially publish that it is open to accepting offers for the same. So what this notice is a notice that would be published in the newspaper, essentially telling the world that the commission are accepting offers on So that this has some various information that's required by statute to be included in the notice, as well as the process and procedure and deadline of how and when, where the offers be submitted and when it would be opened, and presented to the commission at a future meeting. So with approval from the commission, this would be published in the Times newspaper here, it has to be published at least twice, so presumably the Times in the next month or in June, so you comply with statute, anybody who wants to make an offer can submit it by the deadline, I believe,
Do you have any questions for today? I'll make a motion to approve.
Nice.
Any discussion? Roll call please, Jill.
Commissioner Ensland,
Yes.
Commissioner Evelyn,
Yes.
Commissioner McGraw,
Yes.
Commissioner McHarg,
Yes.
Commissioner Bozak.
Yes. All right. All right, next on the agenda, I would like to introduce you to the two gentlemen that are sitting here from Sloan Group. They are here to introduce themselves and introduce what they're here for. I'll let you guys do all the talking.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So much space. Where would you like me
Right,
to
a
stand?
cartwheel. I need a cartwheel.
Yeah, I can do some breakdancing.
Ooh, wherever you want to stand.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having us. I know we've had a lovely opportunity to speak to most of you already in the past, some more times than others, but just wanted to reiterate our excitement to hopefully partner with the town on future development opportunities. And we have a lot of exciting projects going on in the area, as well as in the state of Michigan, and we've done many projects in Illinois. So I'd say that our firm and our group is well versed in what I call the complete residential life cycle, from land development to vertical construction, to managing a portfolio of rentals which exceeds 1,000 units right now. So we're very fortunate to be in front of you to talk about our track record and our plans for the future development. And as I mentioned, we're doing a lot of exciting projects in the area, like in LaPorte. We're doing about a 160 unit project on 40 acres. In Michigan City, we just got approved for the first residential TIF. That's a 220 unit project. So we don't like to do small stuff, hopefully you can see it, but we like to do things right. So I'd say we like to take a very refined approach to make sure that it's worth our time, it's worth your time, and we like to pride ourselves on our quality of construction. And we also have some great partners. It depends on the opportunity. Sometimes we partner with world-class publicly traded home builders to do development. Other times we do everything ourselves. It really depends on what we feel is the right fit for the market, and where we see the opportunity sets for different players. So we also specialize in what we call the missing middle housing segment. We feel like not just in Northwest Indiana, but in the country as a whole, due to inflation in construction costs and high interest rates, accessibility for new construction homes is very difficult right now. So we try to be in an naturally affordable price range, which means that we really have to leverage our in-house construction expertise to give people the best bang for their buck. So I'll stop talking there, but just wanted to introduce ourselves, happy to answer any questions, and hopefully any future opportunities with you will be viewed as a partnership. That's how we like to approach stuff. We never come in and say this is what we need to do and that's it. We want everyone to be excited. So happy to be here, and thank you for the opportunity. Happy to answer any questions as well.
Thank you.
I have something to suggest to you.
Yeah.
I've looked at this diagram, and I was actually around when I was not on the RDC when we bought that plot of land, but I attended all the meetings, and I because I've been on and off the RDC many times. Problem is that plot of land was intended to be a place where we knew the trail would go through it. That was part of the reason to buy it, was for the trail through. But two, it's the one place where the town can engage the trail. Where the trail becomes the main street. The trail becomes the gathering place for both residents and for bicycle tourists passing through. What you have are all backyards. I can go down to any rail to trail and all I see are backyards. That is a crucial difference. This was intended to be a place for both residents and bicycle tourists to stop. The bicycle tourists drop some money, you know, buying a $8 coffee or whatever the heck, you know, it is, etc. And I'm seeing backyards.
Well, I will say that we will definitely take that into account. I think one of the, we are like-minded with that. We'd like to engage the community as much as possible, so we do have a park there, which that could be viewed in many different ways or constructed in many different ways, as a gathering place, as a center stage, in addition to you know, what you see in a standard park, like for kids and things like that. But that roughly acre park was designed to really foster community and to have people hang out. In addition to that, we do have 8,000 square feet of commercial space on the plan as well, where we've also added, I think it's about 70 parking spots as well. So I'd love to put a lot of, you know, obviously bicycle racks and things like that there as well. But with the commercial component, that's another reason for people to stop in and, you know, like buy that coffee or things like that. But happy to walk through it. I think we try to really marry the nuances of a community development with access to, you know, fun things for like tourists to do. And it's difficult to sometimes marry all the standards that are required in a subdivision construction with open space.
But this was never intended to be just a subdivision. We have tons of subdivisions. All right, this was intended to be a town center. And so maybe we have to adjust our definitions, but it was intended to be walkable. And, you know, for instance, I see retail, it's hidden behind a detention pond. I don't see a side trail indicated for off-road access to that retail. It looks very car-centric to me. I'm just throwing these off the top of my head. I'm just throwing things out. But we've looked at this, or at least I've looked at it for a very long time, you know, and I'm just,
It
you
makes
know,
sense.
I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just giving you an indicator as to where you're hitting the guide rails, you know.
Sure,
all right?
Yeah, I think we
So
can
that's
get
it.
pretty creative with that layout of that retail component, and also look at that open space a little bit more creatively as well. Absolutely, that's some good stuff.
Commissioner Ensland, I would
Yes.
I would just point out too, they came to Planning Commission, I don't know if it was early April, and there were some comments from that body as well, because there's some other issues. This document's dated January 23rd. And so there's other issues because with regards, and this is far from final.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
understand.
we just, I mean, anybody else can make an offer on this land. So this is far from final because there's an issue with the pipeline, the access for all of these units in case there's an issue with the pipeline, you can't cross the pipeline. We need to have access for those people to get out, so.
I understand that, but I wasn't at those meetings.
No, I,
Okay. And the trick is, if I don't say anything now, at the beginning of the process, then they might continue on using false assumptions that they're doing, you know, and I'm not the final judge in this, there's a whole, you know, it's my
there's a lot of
ability to
steps in the
persuade them,
process.
you know, but it's incumbent upon me to tell them what I know at the beginning of the process, rather than keep it secret and then say, aha, you're messing up, you know, I mean, that doesn't work.
I just want to, it's far from final, and I know that
I understand that.
they,
But since we had a plan in front of us,
yeah, and I'm not sure why this was set down.
I know, but since we had a plan for discussion in front of us, I'll discuss.
And this area right here is still
That's so sad.
owned by the town and would still be maintained as far as.
But there's kind of a unique thing, and it's, I know it when I see it. I could not design it, all right? But I know a gathering place when I see it. I wanna be there, all right? I've lived in England. I can tell you, you know, you go through places in London or whatever, boom, I like that place. You know, boom, I hate that place. The trick is, I can't design it, but I know it when I see it, and I know there are people that can design it.
Yeah, I just wanted, because some of your comments, especially with regards to accessing the retail from the trail directly, was brought up at the last meeting. So
Yeah.
I think that this is a working document, see where we should be.
Okay, thank you very
Yeah,
well. I
thank you.
don't know, maybe the other commissioners have.
I think Red covered most of it.
Yeah, I think those are pretty, you know, realistic amendments, and it's a work in progress, but definitely we'll do our best to keep enhancing the plan and moving forward, so thanks for that feedback. I lived in England too for a few years, so would love to discuss your experiences over a pint one day. Alright, thank you. Any other questions, or? Thank you.
Thank you very much for
Thanks
your
for
time.
having us.
Of course. All right. Safe streets for all. Sean, you wanna recap it all? I got a meeting to fit in between the
We
meetings.
covered it. We covered it at the beginning.
We're good. All right, we're good. Nobody else has any questions about safe streets where everybody's on the same page, we know where to move?
Move it.
Yep, okay, just making sure, I didn't check off all 5 of the things, so I just wanna make sure we covered them all. All right, new business, anybody have any new business? New business, new business? Alright. Approval of the claims register, I could bring that in here, it's right there. Why it was put in, we won't talk about that, but it just sits here, approval of the claims register, pass that down. Jill, did I get a financial report for the RDC?
It should be there, yes.
Okay, I just didn't want
Side
to.
somewhere.
So we need to make a motion to accept
Yes,
the claims.
the claims that are on there, yes.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the claims.
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call please.
Commissioner Tubman,
Yes.
Commissioner Ensland,
Yes.
Commissioner McHarg,
Yes.
Commissioner McGraw,
Abstain.
Commissioner Bozak.
Yes. Alright, approval of the financial report for the month April 2025.
Make a motion to approve.
I second that.
Any discussion? I wanna discuss it. Do you think that we need to take a deeper dive into it before we approve this?
I would recommend that, yes.
Okay.
Table it? Maybe it's something about. Right. Do we table it?
You can,
Remove
you
your-
can move the table it until next, or push it till next month.
Okay.
I think so,
I think
yeah.
we table it for next month.
Yes. I'll second that.
We have to vote? We're good? I didn't say that, so we're good?
It probably is gonna get you after.
Okay, somebody else is.
Well, go to the order, I just wanna make sure that I tell you that our Parks Master Plan was submitted.
But yeah, but we have to, wait.
Yes,
hold on.
yes. I didn't hear.
I need
I make a
someone-
motion to table this till
Thank you.
June.
Yes.
I second it, I didn't
No,
hear.
you're fine.
what you were saying.
No, you're fine, I
I
said
heard
it,
a bunch
but
of
I
mumbles
couldn't
and
do what to
it's
say it. Okay, roll call on that, Jill?
Commissioner Descartes,
Yes.
Commissioner McGraw,
Yes.
Commissioner Enslin,
Yes,
Commissioner Tevlin,
Yes.
Commissioner Bozak.
Yes. Sorry, good of the order.
Oh, I just wanted to let you guys know that, the Parks Master Plan was submitted on time, and we're second in the queue, I believe.
I'm not sure I heard seconded.
I thought that's what I read.
No, I think the good news was, though, he did suggest if the town wants to proceed with applying for the Land and Water Conservation Fund, to go ahead and get started on that. We have not talked about that, so, I
Yeah, I just-
apologize, but, if we wanna go back to new business, but if the RDC wants me to work with the park board in identifying what a potential project and ask and come back to the RDC, I could have a discussion and
I'm good with
do
that.
something with
Okay.
that.
But as I was saying, it's submitted, so we're happy.
Alright. Anybody else have a good of the order?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Any discussion? Roll call please, Jill?
Commissioner Tevlin,
Yes.
Commissioner McGraw,
Yes.
Commissioner Enslin,
yes.
Commissioner McHarg,
Yes.
Commissioner Bozak.
Yes.
Alright, we have to have a real quick police commission meeting, it's set to start at 6:30 before the council meeting starts at
Yes.
7.
Yeah.